Hello everybody, I'm Briggs, and like always, welcome back to All Day Anime, and today we're going to be doing a tournament bracket, for the biggest flexes in anime. And as you guys probably know, Nux Taku recently uploaded a video that's blowing up. It was a fantastic video where he talked about the biggest flexes in anime, so, let me introduce my first guest, Nux Taku.
Yo, thank you for having me. My honor to be here.
Great to have you, man. Congrats on your video, by the way.
Thank you. Very cool.
And if you guys remember in my last video, I got absolutely slapped by 2Spooky in an anime challenge, so what's up, 2Spooky?
How's it going, everybody? The anime titty expert coming back again.
See, the beauty of that challenge is, even if you lose, you can say, well, I'm not the one that recognizes every pair of anime titties.
Yeah.
I wanted that title, to be fair.
You secretly win.
It's a win-win situation.
Exactly.
Or a lose-lose situation.
Round 2 coming someday. I will see you there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I need a rematch, man.
It's coming.
Oh, yeah. And we can do other things, too, like guessing characters based on their hair, their eyes, their
Yeah, but why would
assets.
someone... Oh.
Their thick glutes.
Oh. Honestly, I think I would slap you if you were just, like, guessing Dragon Ball characters just by their pecs.
Oh, man. I guess we'll have to see. Challenge accepted.
We'll find out next time on All Day Anime. Anyway, guys, let's jump into the epic bracket royale. In the first matchup, or the first round, we have Kakashi. When he was doing the test against Team 7, they had to steal the bells from him. And, he just nonchalantly read a book while doing it. Versus Mihawk, who has a huge sword on his back, pulls out a pocket knife against our man Zoro, and wished he had a smaller knife. I don't know which one's a bigger flex. That's pretty intense.
I'm going to have to put my vote for Mihawk here.
Ooh. What are you thinking, Nuxie boy?
Well, honestly, let me try to express why Kakashi reading a book is even better than you think. Because normally, I understand he's reading a book while fighting ninja, basically just to humiliate them and tell them how pathetic they are. But he's reading porn. Can you imagine reading porn while fighting Team 7? That's whole new levels of respect right there.
It's so unnecessary too. It's literally just a flex on them. Like, you guys are so weak. You're so small and beneath me. Like, just try to steal these bells, and I'm just not even gonna care, and you're still gonna struggle. But at the same time, like, honestly, I would give it to Kakashi if it wasn't for the fact that Mihawk said, "I wish I had a smaller knife." like if he just pulled out a small knife, okay. He's like, he wishes he had a smaller one.
So the reason why I'm going to put my foot down and vote for Mihawk on this one is because while Kakashi did it purely to flex on them and to make them feel terrible about themselves, Mihawk did it like legit. This is the most useful way for me to fight you. I could use the big sword on my back, but it would legit be easier to fight you with a toothpick. Well, so it's the nonchalant flexing that gives Mihawk my vote.
You wouldn't use a cannonball to destroy an ant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Did he say something along those lines? I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I just like
him.
the flex with Mihawk the most because at that point in the series, like both Luffy and Zoro, for that matter, they're just bodying everybody. And then Mihawk shows up and just completely bodies Zoro easily with a little toothpick. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. And it, like, in both scenarios, Kakashi and Mihawk, it shows that our, like, main characters have so far to go still. But like you said, Zoro is just like a beast, and it's just like, wow, you're still in, like, the East Blue. It's small. The world is big. Like,
Yeah,
you have
like,
a long way to go to become the greatest.
Trying to be the greatest swordsman, and then he shows up, and you're that far behind. Like, that's a big wake up call. And did
you would like to be the biggest? You would like to be the greatest swordman, would you? Well, let me pull my sword out of my matchbox, and we'll see what you can do against me.
Uses a pin. You'd probably still win.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Honestly, Mihawk would probably win at that point with his, like, without a sword. Just because he's, like, his hockey probably.
I think Mihawk's mustache alone would be able
Yes.
to defeat Zoro if he was really trying.
The only mustache that could put up a fight would be Lord D. Twigo.
All right, fair enough. Anyway, so I think Mihawk wins this one.
Yeah, it's 2 for Mihawk. Sorry, Nux.
I voted for
He
Mihawk.
voted for Mihawk.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you voted for Kakashi.
He put his foot down, Briggs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. No one pays attention to my feet. It's horrible.
I got you, Nux.
You don't have
Hey,
legs,
big
bro.
Spooky.
You don't have legs, therefore
I'm not
you do not have
PewDiePie
feet
yet.
to put down. All right, the next
I like to
matchup.
consider myself a disembodied voice. Okay.
The next matchup, we have Escanor versus Ultimate Cars. And I mean, we could choose a specific scene with Escanor, but like, there's just too many to choose from. Which one do you guys like the best?
All right, so here's a scene that I did not mention in my biggest flexes in anime video, but I feel like I'll mention it here. He's fighting Esteros, and Esteros is like looking all high and mighty at him, and he just like kind of knocks Esteros back, and he falls on his knees, and he's like, "Oh, are you on your knees already? Did you drop a coin?"
Honestly, like the Galan fight was like really hype when it was animated as well, but when I first read the manga, I reread that chapter with Escanor versus Esterosa so many times. Because Esterosa made everyone freeze in their tracks. They couldn't move because obviously they had some amount of hatred towards him. And then Escanor just walks in like, why would I pity someone beneath me? Or why would I feel hatred towards someone beneath me? It was amazing.
I merely pity them.
You're truly proud or whatever. Like, that is my sin. It was so good. Oh my god, it was an amazing chapter.
I just don't think I.
Your
can
darkness
pick an Escanor
swallowed my
moment.
son. Who decided that? My attacks cannot affect you. Who chose to believe that?
Oh,
The
you know what's a
only one
huge
who
flex?
Decide such things.
When he finally takes damage, as to be expected of my own attacks. Oh, that's a pretty huge flex too.
Escanor's sin is just flexing, to be honest. Like, put the
Oh,
pride
yeah,
aside.
pretty much. He is just flexing incarnate, but when he
Lord
cut Galan
Escanor,
in
the
half,
sin of flex.
when he cut Galan in half, and then Galan comes back and is like, "That's not enough to defeat me." We think, "Of course, I was holding back. Otherwise, this would be no fun." Like, he literally cut one of the Ten Commandments in half with ease, and still pretends like he's holding back, as if he was
He's
letting
little
him
chuckling,
survive
no less.
to make it more
He's like
interesting.
chuckling and slices him in half.
Oh, and then Galan swings, which is like his swing could like knock out mountains, and it gets stuck in his shoulder muscle. Like, it was crazy.
How does it feel to be looked down upon by a human?
Then-
Escanor. So that's Escanor.
yeah, we flexed so hard on cars right there. We didn't even mention it.
All right, and Kars, he can make his hand a squirrel. Okay, fine. Let's not.
Let's do it legit.
So I chose Kars in my video because I feel like he's the only time that the narrator really flexed on everyone. Because the narrator himself, when Kars showed up, was like, "Kars, a being that is the most powerful in the world. Not only is he like so strong and so fast, etc., but he also has the beautiful physique of a Greek statue." It's like the narrator's flexing on everyone.
It's actually hilarious though, because on the Wikipedia page for Cars, they're talking about his strengths, and out of nowhere they just say, "And he has the beauty of a Greek statue."
Yes!
Or a Greek goddess, and I'm like, what? Like, what does that have anything to do with his strength? But it was hilarious.
I don't know.
They probably just copy and pasted with the.
In all, though, even though I love that, I'm still gonna have to give it to Lord Flexinor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is just flex incarnate.
I mean, we can't forget about his beautiful stash. It's also flexing on that figure we were just talking about.
Yeah, that's true. Stashes in general, they're some of the flexiest anime creations of all time. I mean, Armstrong is going to be on my next flexing video. I mean,
Yeah.
Ooh.
But also Escanor, just like in general, the fact that he has a daytime and nighttime form, where his daytime form is like super weak and not flexing in any way, just so he could flex when it becomes nighttime. It's like, it's a huge flex to go from like, this isn't even my final form type of thing. And he just keeps on getting stronger and stronger right in front of his opponent's eyes.
I don't know if you guys are caught up with the manga, but no
I'm a few
spoils.
chapters behind. Please don't.
I won't no spoils, but let's just say nighttime Escanor over here. He's pulling out some flexes, okay? So even his
Damn.
nighttime form can flex now. That's an improvement.
Wow.
Next
Pretty
level.
crazy.
Got to
You
give it to
thought
Escanor.
it was only my you thought it was only my daytime form that could flex. All right, what's the next matchup here? We have Toguro, which is another master of This Isn't Even My Final Form, like part 9, versus Takamura. Those who rule the left can rule the world. Oh my god, such a great scene.
Oh my god, I love this.
You don't understand how, like, I literally sent both Nux and Spooky a clip of this fight just so they could adore how good Takamura's moment is. Like, don't get me wrong, Toguro flexes super hard with, like, I'm only at 80% of my final power, and then says that again, like, I don't know, a million times. But Takamura walks in
With a bear coat thing.
yeah, with a skinned bear like fur on him, and there had been rumors going around that he had defeated a bear, and everyone just assumed he was full of shit, right? But he actually did defeat a bear, which is super realistic for a boxing anime. He walks in, and his opponent is like, oh, this guy's just like bluffing hard. He takes off his robe, and you just see like these claw marks across his chest and across his shoulder. But then which is a huge flex already. But then he goes to fight his opponent, and he's only throwing left jabs the entire time, and he wins only using his left.
And the best part was, though, they're all waiting for the right jab
Yeah.
to come. Yeah. His right hand is his dominant hand. They're like, oh, man, when he throws that right, oh, the guy's going to be toast. And then the guy went down only on left.
There's literally people in the audience saying, like, throw your right, Takamura. You need it. You can't defeat him with only your left type of thing. And he just keeps on going hard. And slowly his jabs become straight, and he knocks the opponent out. But, like, the significance behind this flex is, so he's the champion of Japan at this point. But by doing this, he's like, I'm too big for Japan. I'm going on to the world stage. Like, this is so easy for me. This is when he used that fight as a way to tell the world, I'm coming for you type of thing. And apparently there's like this proverb where it's like, those who rule the left rule the world. And then after that fight, he denounces his Japanese title and goes for like a world title. And it's literally such a huge flex coming in with the fur. But you guys can hype up Toguro if you want. I had to hype up Takamura. He's one of my favorite characters.
I don't know. I was going to go hard for Takamura on this one as well. But I know Mr. Spooky is a big Yu Yu Hakusho fan. So take it away.
I am. But the thing is, having watched that clip and just got the context from Briggs now that he did indeed actually fight a bear, I was wondering about that myself. I felt like not having the context was going to like be the ultimate downfall for me going against it. But the thing is, Toguro did all this flexing, and he's only like a B-class demon at the end of the day.
Honestly, I thought that was just Togashi kind of going back, trying to make the next villains even stronger.
I agree, but the fact is it's a thing, so it makes me upset.
Yeah, so it makes me upset.
I give it to Bearman.
And to anyone who just doesn't know, like, Toguro, like, pretty much just pulls a Frieza over and over again, saying, like, I was, like, saying he's at 100% of his power, truly at 80%, says he's finally at his final form, still not at his final form.
JK.
It's true, but he does have some pretty epic flex moments as well. Like, for example, Yusuke is about to join. Well, he's not going to join the tournament yet, and he goes to Yusuke and he says, "Yo, you're going to join the tournament." And then they're in like a parking garage, and instead of just running up to Yusuke and killing him in 1 second, he quickly darts around the room, destroys all the beams in the parking garage so the entire building could collapse on him. That's like epic flex right there.
Also, he flexed so hard that his body like disformed and didn't even look normal anymore.
And that's literal flexing.
That's literal flexing. I mean, why do you think I'm wearing this tank top? I gotta flex on all the viewers and the tournament bracket. All right.
I think Lord Rigo's gonna win this one.
Ooh. All right.
So well, we have then 3 votes for Takamura.
100%. And now we have Irene versus the Urza fight versus Aizen, where it is always like the entire world's part of his master plan. But Nux, you could hype this one up if you want, because I'm not a Fairy Tail fanboy.
I want to hype the Aizen one, but since none of you have watched Fairy Tail, I will do that.
You can hype both.
So first of all, even though a lot of people don't like the Irene versus Urza fight because the power scaling was totally whack, it made Urza one of the greatest female characters in shonen history. Sorry, just gonna say it, put it right there. Aside from that, Irene's flex was dumb. Anyway, so Urza's used this super sky armor thingo, which allows her to gain access to the gate of Babylon, and she shoots like 1 billion swords at Irene. And like in every single anime clash, there's like this massive smoke cloud that billows up from the ground and you can't see anything. And you have like Wendy in the background. Did we get her? And Urza's like, no, I don't think so. And then the smoke clears and you see Irene standing there. Not only is she unharmed, not only did she block/dodge every single one of Urza's 1 billion swords, but she also arranged them in the shape of a flower to say, look how strong I am.
So necessary.
Yeah, it's very important to do.
That's a pretty big flex, but it's hard to flex more than Aizen in this case.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Well, you got to remember that at one point in time, Urza did also cut through a sword that can cut through dimensions.
Wow.
That's pretty big flex. It's a pretty big
flex. Urza in this fight with Irene, I mean, this isn't really a major spoiler because it's in the actual fight. Irene's crazy strong, and she like does Madara level garbage, pulls down meteors and whatever. And Urza's completely immobilized because like all the bones in her body are broken except for like one arm. So with that arm, she pushes off the floor really hard, picks up a sword to the meteor, and shatters the whole thing.
Oh my god.
The power of friendship.
Literally. Okay, but Aizen
So yeah,
flexed
power
so
scaling
hard
was a little whack in this one.
that he stopped Ichigo's opening.
Oh.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's pretty epic.
Like, they hyped up all these captains and Ichigo so hard. Like, Ichigo learned his Bankai, came in, fucked up captains. They hyped up captains to such a, like, extreme extent. Meanwhile, Aizen took out the fox dude. I don't know
Everyone.
anyone's name.
Tomamura.
and Hitsugaya as well. So took out two captains like pretty much in one hit. And then they literally hype up Ichigo so hard with his Bankai. His opening comes up and then stopped with a single finger and stops his fucking opening. That's a huge flex.
Yo, and this is after Ichigo's beating lieutenants barehanded.
Yeah.
And he's like destroying their swords by just like slapping them.
Man, the Soul Society arc is hype. I need to rewatch
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty dope.
But also, Nux,
Lead 10.
in your video you talked about his master plan. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I have to, because the master plan flex, I think, is one of the greatest ever. Because he has like this whole strategy. He's going to take over the Soul Society and the Soul King and all that and whatever. Aside from that, he also had the time. He was a very busy man, mind you. He was doing like all the visored experiments and the holification stuff. He was also like making believe he was a good guy, a captain, and like, you know, he was basically living a double life and having very busy lives on both sides. But at the same time, he also managed to pit every opponent against Ichigo to make him just as strong as possible for this one moment where he was expecting to just like snuff him out in a second. His master plan was literally just to flex on Ichigo as an individual.
I mean, he basically flexed on Ichigo by creating him, if you think about it.
I know. Like, the whole idea of creating Ichigo was just, I have created you, and I have trained you to this point where you can be as strong as you can, just so I can tell you now, you suck.
Hey, Ichigo.
Basically, that's amazing. Oh
I
my
made
god.
your parents
Too
bad,
bad he got
Ichigo.
fucked up, didn't he? Like,
Yeah, that didn't go very well.
that didn't go very well. But if it did go well and like the series is ended with Ichigo dying, that'd be the hugest flex of all time.
Oh, man.
I mean, and
I
then he
didn't
basically,
even mean to make you as strong as you did, but I did, just to piss you off.
and that's also not mentioning how much he flexes just sitting in a chair
Hell yeah.
for like the rest of the series.
Wow.
People
Yeah,
walk
that-
in and they just evaporate.
All right, we gotta give it to Aizen, right?
Yeah, I vote Aizen.
Yeah, I had to vote Aizen.
There we go. So the first round seemed to be pretty easy. I think it's gonna get a little bit harder going forward.
Man, I just thought of another sick Aizen flex I'm going to talk about.
Oh.
And I just want to let
They're
everyone
everywhere.
know that these are the literally the 8 picks that Nux talked about in his video, and we're gonna link it down below. But you guys smashed that like button pretty hard for Nux Taku's video. So if we could get 5,000 likes on this, we'll do a part 2 after he does a part 2. So
Ooh!
yeah,
Nice.
let's just flex on the like button there.
Flick the like button.
We have Kakashi we have Mihawk
lost.
versus Escanor.
Hell
I
yeah!
almost messed that up.
All right,
This is
so this
tough.
one is going to be me going against Spooky head-to-head, it seems.
I don't know what to pick. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm
Yeah,
kind
me
of at a
neither.
loss.
Really, I don't think it's.
I think
it's
I'm
that
going to go
hard.
with Lord Flexenor on this one. I have to say, as much as I like Mihawk and his butter knife, Escanor.
Yeah,
Oh, brighter.
it has to be
you know.
Escanor.
I like Escanor is the easy choice, but I feel like in the
People
One Piece
that
world
can-
in particular,
Alright,
Mihawk
persuade
just
me.
flexes constantly. I mean, all right, you got to think this guy's the greatest swordsman in the world, right? He's been the greatest swordsman for how long? The man has zero visible scars on his body, which means he's likely never taken a hit. At Marineford, he didn't get hit by anybody. He was just going around beating people left and right. He probably could have cut Diamond if he really wanted to.
It seemed like he
I
wasn't
mean-
even trying. He was just there because he had to be there to
Yeah, exactly.
keep his ties with the world government, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but why does he even need ties? He should be able to do his own thing without worrying about them.
He's probably just like
I mean,
just there
probably.
to have fun.
But if you're under the government, you can basically just do anything without having like
But
repercussions.
he should be able to do anything without
You
repercussions
wouldn't have
anyway. since
repercussions.
he's
I
anyway.
agree. I agree.
The Escanor would have never joined the puny government. He would have made the government join him.
Oh, the Holy Knights are basically the government. Come on now.
You know what?
Yeah, and he obeys them. He melted half their city when he fought at
it's also a pretty huge
When you
flex.
flex on the government.
It's a pretty huge flex that he floats around on a tiny ship, right? And like they hype up the Grand Line in the New World to be this place like the harshest seas in the world. He just floats around with a huge sword on his back, and like just knocks out ships, sea kings like it's nothing.
But Spooky, you have to take this into consideration. Overpowered One Piece swordsmen are plentiful as grains of sand.
Yeah, wow.
There's only one Escanor.
And they all stand
Like,
below Escanor.
I feel like I have to go with Escanor. Like, I'm definitely leaning that direction, but I just wanted to give Mihawk some credit because he is definitely like one of the master flexers in One Piece.
Yeah.
And
for
believe
sure.
it or not, I am doing an OP analysis on a Mihawk. So
My
that's
body
pretty
is
cool.
ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta go with
has to
Escanor.
advance, man.
Very tough.
His body is flex incarnate. Every single fight, he always just flexes on his opponent because he's like designed as a character to flex because he slowly grows in power. He goes from being super small and underestimated to being super huge and is like ridiculously powerful. Like the fact that he was more powerful than Meliodas at one point, like as just like a
With
normal
unlocked
sin
power.
is crazy. Pardon?
Yeah. With his unlocked power.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was like 20 times stronger than most of the Sins at that point.
I mean, the guy, for 1 minute a day, the guy basically becomes like a literal human embodiment of flexing.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was too OP to even have in season 1, and they bring him in season 2 just to flex on everyone from season 1. Like,
Oh, just wait till season 3.
oh man.
Oh, man. Well,
Flexing
season 3 is going to
continues.
be filler, so that's hype.
Ah,
Really?
Yeah.
ah,
Yeah, it's going to be a whole side story.
Rip.
consider me big sad.
Is it at least Vampires of Endenburg?
I don't think
Oh,
so.
that would
I
be
don't know.
so good.
Because that's a big
I don't-
flex as well. Because like that's
Yeah,
when he
that-
kills that
Just walks
vampire
in.
king, and he says, "Kings are as plentiful,
Plentiful
as
as
grains
grains
of
of
sand,
sand.
and they all stand below me," type of thing. But there's
Yeah,
only
well-
one Escanor.
There's only one Escanor. And we'll see who he fights in the finals. Is
Yeah.
it going to be Aizen? Or is it going to be that other guy that Briggs remembers that I forgot?
Takamura.
Takamura!
Honestly, like I know
Forget
Aizen like is pretty hype, but it's close for me. It really is.
I think
So
I have
here's
to
the
go
other
with
Aizen flex that I thought of. Aizen at the end, he's so powerful, he even absorbed the Hokyoku, right? Which gives him like infinite shiz, basically.
Mhm.
And then they ask later, like, how is it possible that Aizen with the Hogyoku managed to lose to Ichigo? And it's explained that the Hogyoku delves into Aizen's deepest desires, and he himself subconsciously wanted to lose to Ichigo, so it forced him to lose. How big of a flex is that? The main
only-
character had to sacrifice his powers to go into ultimate Zangetsu mode, and even then, it took Aizen subconsciously forcing himself to lose to lose.
Wow.
Like,
Now that's a flex.
That is a pretty big flex. I was gonna say the only
Haphazard
reason I
as
don't
it
want to
was.
vote for Aizen at the end of the day, all that flexing resulted in an L. But it's because he wanted to lose.
Subconsciously,
He's
mind
been
you.
flexing on everyone his whole life that he wanted to like just experience what it means to be a normal person.
I think the only like negative I have to give against Aizen is the fact that through all of his flextatious actions, he was never able to kill Momo. He can stop Ichigo's Bankai with a finger, but he can't kill one of the most worthless characters in Bleach.
Yeah. Wow. So another huge moment for Takamura. Like I already explained the whole bear one, which is a huge flex, walking in with the bear fur, taking it off, revealing the scars, knocking out everyone with only knocking out. This is a title match, by the way. This isn't just like a normal boxing match. This is for the championship of Japan, and he's just like so above everyone that he needs to flex just and only use one arm against his opponent, which is wild. But there's after this fight, he has to like you can't just go straight to a world title. You have to qualify to like be able to have that title match. And as he's doing, he shows up and Takamura is such a huge flexer that not only does he end up winning like title matches for his weight class, but he's like, okay, I won this title match. Let me go and win like the weight class below me and above me, and like just flex on every weight class possible. I want to be the champion of every weight class. But anyway, he needs to earn the ability to fight a world title match, and he goes and he fucks up his weight training, and he's literally an anorexic skeleton at the fight, right? And it looks like he's about to lose, but then he sees the world champion in the stands. And as if to flex on him, he gets so pissed that he one punches his opponent out of the ring into the lap, like into the feet of the world champion, just to be like, I'm coming for you. You think this is who I really like this is who I really am, not what you've been seeing for the rest of this fight. because he literally walked in like an anorexic skeleton and was getting slapped until he saw the world champion, and he just bodied him.
So I'm gonna vote for Takamura.
What?
Man.
I love you.
Because Aizen's flexing aside, Takamura is way more badass.
I mean, that's true.
Sorry. And there is a badass factor to flexing.
I mean,
That is
Aizen
true.
is an absolute badass as well. But I also, Spooky, who do you think you're going to vote for here?
Like, I'm gonna have to vote for Aizen just because of my lack of context. Like, I definitely think this man over here, he sounds very flexible. I gotta say, very flexible. But at the end of the day, I feel like Aizen's entire journey is basically just flex after flex. I mean, he created the main character, literally. Like, he put his parents together and basically made them bang. Like, without that, Ichigo wouldn't even exist.
And then he
it's just
lines up
one flex
opponent.
after another. Like, there was no reason for Aizen to create the Espada, but he did. And those are some great characters. I mean, some of them, not only
all
a couple of them. Only a couple of them.
Fair enough.
Without Aizen, they wouldn't exist either, and none of us would have, big, angry, blue hair guy or emo guy, and it'd just be sad. He flexes in a chair and just evaporates
All right.
people. I don't know, like.
No,
Constant
Aizen
flex.
is a solid flexer, I have to say. But again, Takamura takes it for me.
So there's this one scene where he's fighting a world title match, and how do I put this? So basically, he's been trained in this very formal fighting style, like to throw jabs and like learn to use his left to set up his right, which is super powerful. But like halfway through the fight, he just gets pissed off and starts to like loses his form altogether and just goes like super rage mode against his opponent. And out of nowhere, it cuts to the side, and they're like, "Oh no, this is the true Takamura in his like fighting instinct, like which is way stronger than his normal fighting styles. Like all we've seen him do throughout the series is fight like calmly and like normally, and then out of nowhere, he just forgets everything and is stronger than what we've seen him do everything in the past. Just a flex on literally boxing in general, like." His basic instincts and like animal instincts and fighting style is stronger than he is in normal boxing. I'm gonna vote for Takamura.
It sounds very impressive, but the final thing
I'm
gonna
still
say,
Takamura here.
final thing
But
I'm
I
gonna say
have
about
a
Aizen.
final point against Aizen as well, though. So go ahead, and I'll take.
Okay.
I'll take over.
My final point for Aizen is the fact that Soul Reapers in general, right? As the series progresses, you basically need a Bankai or you're getting left behind. But my man Aizen over here never used a Bankai. Never needed one, never used one, didn't exist.
Yeah, but
I
if
mean,
he
it
would
could've
have used
existed.
his Shikai against Ichigo, he would have won.
We don't talk about that, okay?
Yeah.
The man flexed so hard he didn't use it against Ichigo. That's what I'm saying here.
Man, that
It
last
could have been
fight
too easy.
annoyed me so much.
Yeah,
It's like you planned out this guy's entire life to make him strong and then lost. And you didn't use your Shikai, which was like the most overpowered thing of all time. But that's honestly part of the problem. It was like it was so OP, how can someone even defeat it? Like to the point that they just had to forget about it.
yeah. So OP that you didn't even need a Bankai.
Yeah.
I know I've lost here, but I just had to say that.
I'm gonna finalize why I'm voting for Takamura over Aizen, and that's because Aizen flexes purely for his own self-satisfaction. He's not doing it for the purpose of pissing other people off due to his flextatious actions. Okay, Takamura flexes so Zawarudo could shudder at his feet. Aizen just flexes to make himself feel better.
And you know what's also great? He also does it for the old man. It's like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. I don't know.
He's a
Takamura's an
warm,
amazing
fuzzy
character.
dude in there as well.
Also, I just watched a clip while you guys were talking, and Takamura knocking the guy out while anorexic, and it was amazing. Takamura versus Escanor in the finals. Why are you doing this to me? I don't know.
So,
I don't know.
everything that I said about Takamura flexing on the world, and I said the world, not Zawarudo, so you know I'm serious. Takamura flexing on the world to make the world shudder at him, that has nothing on Escanor flexing on the world because that's who he is.
Yeah, his
He
character.
doesn't need to put up extra flexes. He doesn't need to get bear skins to put over him to flex. He is the living embodiment of flex, and I vote for Lord Flexinor. Lord Flexinor.
Man,
And I hope he wins.
Just like picturing that scene where Escanor looks down on Estarossa and says, "That is my sin." Like, just him versus Escanor and him versus Galan makes it hard for me to not vote for Escanor. Those are two of my favorite moments, literally within all of the 7 deadly sins.
And even in the manga, when he's fighting Zeldris, and Zeldris is in like crazy power mode, and he's in the one mode, and he just picks up his finger and smashes him with his finger, and he goes flying.
That's a flex.
That's a flex. Could have used his fist, but nah.
He literally flexes so hard that he stopped Galan's axe. Or weapon. Is it a spear?
He flexes so hard that Galan
And
lost
runs
by
away.
killing himself.
Yeah.
He just runs away like. Oh.
And Galan seemed to be this guy who was like battle hungry and war hungry, and that's why he developed the Galan game, which is amazing. It just like literally we swing at each other until one of us dies. However, he literally ran away like a bitch because Escanor flexed so hard in his presence.
Escanor flexes so hard, he looks 10 times larger than he is.
He takes up the entire screen.
People
with his
around him
muscles.
look like ants in his presence.
Well, they are ants in his presence.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if they weren't, even
I
if
meant
someone was
physically,
larger
not
than
just
him,
metaphorically.
yeah, literally physically and metaphorically. Man,
I'm gonna have to give this one to Lord Flexinor.
like I'm so
I have
biased
to agree.
because I love Takamura, but when it comes to flexing, I don't know if anyone can flex harder than our man Escanor. Maybe in a part 2, someone will flex harder, but for the time being,
Briggs,
I think
look at
Escanor
the bright
takes it all.
side. After we do 8 of these, we could take the 8 winners and.
What I was thinking is once we have the winner of part 2, we face them off against the winner of part 1. A little bonus meme round to see if Escanor still takes it.
Or after we do 4 of these,
We do a
we have
mini
an
bracket.
epic mini bracket
Ooh, that'd be fun.
of the 4 kings of Flex.
Anyway,
Flex
guys,
Yonkos.
Escanor takes the W, and if you learned anything, you should watch Hajime no Ippo. Right,
And
Spooks?
subscribe to Nux Taku.
I mean, he's
Thank you,
definitely
Briggs.
right.
Well, I mean, the flexing video is going to be linked down below. Both Nux Taku and 2Spooky, oh my god, 2Spooky's YouTube channels will be linked down below. Also, I'm recording this live on Twitch, so if you want to follow me on Twitch to catch this live next time. I also stream things like Dark Souls, where I get very upset and sometimes very drunk, so subscribe and follow for that. But anyway, guys, thank you, Nux and Spooks, for joining me.
Pleasure
Anytime.
is ours.
'Twas so much fun to talk about Escanor and Takamura.
And a bit about Isaac.
and a bit about other characters, yeah, kind of. But yeah, I win the tournament bracket because I just flexed on all of you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very cool.
Anyway, guys, that's the end of the video, and I will see you all next time, dudes. Shinpaku. However, that is the end of today's video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Smash that like button if you did enjoy. Now for a quick shout out to my patrons and members. My goal is to use Patreon to continue to hire editors. That way I can maintain this level of quality. A huge thank you to Axel for editing this video for me. I think he did a fantastic job. Thank you so much, man. And a huge thank you to my patrons that helped me to hire Axel. Thank you Ace17FFDP, Beck, Chastity White, McManga, Nick Sands, Nothing But a Fan, Shoot Alpha, The Anime Dude, Thought Destroyer, and my highest current patron, Viva the Loser. And a huge thank you to my first member, who is actually the man, the myth, the legend himself, 2Spooky. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and just being an awesome friend, man. But on that note, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys all next time, dudes. Shin Paku. El Sai Kangaroo.